In this video, I'm going to show you an easy way to fix your wrong totals in your tables in your Power BI reports. I'm going to show you why it happens, how to fix it, and break down the steps so that you understand the actual fixing method. All of that and more. So without further ado, let's get started. Hi, my name is Fernan, and welcome to the Solutions Abroad YouTube channel, where we cover tips, tricks, and best practices when working with Power BI. I upload new videos every week, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell icon to get notified when a new one is out. So when working with tables in Power BI, you might encounter some scenarios where you're visualizing some data in a table, but the totals don't actually add up to what you see in this table. And it actually can happen fairly easily and actually fairly frequently. So let me show you an example. Before we jump into this table, let's have a look at the data model first, which is a fairly simple data model. So basically it's a breakdown of the various orders that we have for these different products. So we have each of these orders with a product ID here, which is basically just signifying a product. We have the unit price for those products and the quantity of those products that were ordered. For the products table, we're simply just using the product ID to link it with the product name. And then we have the categories to categorize all of these products to group them into their various logical categories. We have the orders table here, which is simply just to visualize when those orders were made. And then we have some other tables here, like the calendar table for our time intelligence. And we also have this measures table here where we typically store all of our measures for organization purposes. And I've already created one measure here for our sales, which is basically just calculating the sales based off of the order details table, basically multiplying the unit price against the quantity. At the moment, what we're trying to do is visualize the order details values, the quantity or unit price, against the categories table here to group them up. Now, in our model view, we have created a very simple relationships across these. So we would be using the categories name and then the order details columns here, quantity column here. So that's what we are basically showing here. Well, actually, this is unit price, so but it's still off of the same table. So order details table, the unit price here. So far, so good, right? It's a pretty simple implementation. So if you look at the table now here, as you can see, it's pulling from the categories and the order details table. It's meant to be showing the max unit price for products inside each of these categories. Now, in the table itself, you can see that it's doing this. It's giving us the maximum unit price for each of these categories, which is fine. However, if you go to the total, as you can see, it doesn't add up to this value here that we have in our table. It's just showing a value here, 263, which if you try to add these all up, it's not going to add up to this value. And this error is basically caused by the summarization type that you have applied in this column. So in this case, because we are not doing a summarization, which in this case is just adding up the values, it's only looking for the maximum value across all of the order details that we have, regardless of which category they belong in. So in this case, for example, we have the 263. It's not really a total. It basically means it's the maximum unit price across the different categories in the order details table, regardless of what the category name actually is. So technically, it's not really incorrect because it's doing what it's supposed to. It's looking for the maximum unit price across the data set. It's just that logically, if you want to show this as a total, it's not showing what it's meant to show. If you want to fix this, which I mean to show the actual total added up for these different categories, we have to try to fix this using DAX. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new measure here to start with. I'm going to call this one max unit price. And let's break this down into steps because we have to do a few things here. The first thing is that we actually want to have Power BI acknowledge the grouping that we have in our table. So basically, measures don't have a row context. So regardless of what you put in this table, the total or the calculation is applied across your data sets. So for example, here we have the split of category named, but Power BI doesn't recognize that, at least in the context of the total. So we have to give our measure this context so that it knows what type of grouping it is. So to start with, we're gonna create the table that we want Power BI to recognize. In which case, we're gonna use the summarize function here, which basically just creates the table for us. We're going to use the categories table and then just create a grouping of categories name. So this will actually just give us an error for now. Well, actually, it's meant to give us a table value here. I want to show you how this looks like, first of all. It's basically just a table of categories. So if we go to our table tools here, show a new table, as you can see, it just gives us that that grouping that we want Power BI to recognize because we want to summarize the values in each of these categories. So we're going to go back to that measure that we created. We're going to wrap this up with a SUMX. So we're wrapping this with a SUMX, an iterator, so that we can do a expression, which is to find the maximum value for each of these different categories, and then sum those up so that we have the correct total. So we're wrapping this up with a SUMX, which SUMX, if you're not too sure about iterators in general, I did cover it already in a separate video. So go check that out if you're confused about what we're trying to do here. So the second part of SUMX is basically the expression, which in this case is us trying to find the maximum unit price per category. So we're going to simply just do unit price here max. And we have to do one last thing here, which is to wrap this with a calculate. And this is for the context transition. So context transition is a pretty tricky concept to understand. So it's basically a way to convert your row context into a filter context. Now, in this case, we have a SUMX, which iterates through this expression every single row for every single category. So it reworks that max for each of these row of categories. But when it gets to each of these different categories, the calculate, the context transition ensures that we're only finding the max unit price per category in each of this iteration. So if you go to beverages, it will only look for unit price that is the maximum in beverages, and then vice versa, vice versa. So I hope that quick explanation about context transition makes sense, but if it's not, I did cover context or row context and filter context in another video, but context transition itself, I haven't yet. So I'll see if I can simplify it in another video just so that people understand what it actually does. So for now, what we're going to do is hit enter here, just to apply this, this measure that we have created. And we're going to drag this into our table here. Now, as you can see, we now have the comparison with the column that we've just dragged in here compared to the measure that we've created here, which now, as you can see, does the correct totals for us. So it just adds up all of these values for these max unit prices per category and showing us the added up, summed up value here in the total. So that's basically the simplest way to do it. The tricky thing is to obviously make sure that Power BI understands what the context is or what the split and the group is for it to add up the correct numbers. Let's have a look at another example of when you might want to do this and implement it a different way. So let's have a look at another example here in our different page here, which is just showing us the average quantity for different months in a year. So we have the different months here, and they have basically a averaged out quantity column here in our total. And this is kind of in a matrix visual. Let's say we want to show the summed up total for each of these quantities in this total value here, instead of giving us the average quantity for that year. So to do that, we're going to use the exact same thing, but we're just going to modify the summarize function so that or Power BI or the DAX measure understands what grouping we are working with. So we're going to go and create a new measure here. I'm going to call this average quantity. And we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to create the summarize. We're going to use the calendar first of all as the calendar table. And then we're going to create our grouping here, which in this case is the year and the month. And then we're going to wrap this up with a sum x. So sum x like this. And then on the expression of the sum x, we simply do the average of the quantity. And then don't forget the context transition. We need to add the calculate, just wrap our average up here, something like this. So now if you hit enter, we'll drag this into our visual here. As you can see, it shows us the correct average quantity per month, per year in this visual. But the only difference is that it shows us the actual total. So it totals up, rolls up on the subtotal level for each of the years and the total at the very end. So the grand total is showing us the correct totals as we expect. And that's really it for this video. I hope you now know how easy it is to fix your incorrect totals in your Power BI reports. Thanks for watching. As usual, give this video a like if you found it useful. Give it a dislike if you didn't, so to do better for next time. Ask your questions in the comment section box below so I can help you and you can help others. If you like this video, we have a Patreon page where you can support the channel and get exclusive perks like early access, demo files, and credits at the end of these videos. Thanks again for watching and see you in the next one. Bye bye.